Alright, I started working on this. I've got that all pretty much ground down and straight. Don't know how close it is, but it's pretty close. But I can kind of see that not a real smooth transition here. So what I'm going to do is put a little Bondo on the edge of this. Got quite a few weld holes and stuff in it. This bracket is straight, and I think these are going to be good enough. But I'm just going to kind of try to put an even curve in this whole thing right here. Looks like this part's coming down from about right here. Probably cut lower inside the fender. Anyway, I'm gonna Bondo this like 1 inch up in here through this section, and sand it down. That'll give me a pretty good edge. Should be good enough to do whatever I need to do. Well, there's some Bondo on it. I don't know how close I am to anything, and I got none to go for. I think I improved the curve in it a little. It'll be easier to tell once I get it DA'd down. But I think that's pretty good. I need to make this curve right in here. I've got this one little piece down here. They can weld right in here in the back. That'll solve that. But I got some curved pieces there under the truck that I cut out for the fender. That might work. We gotta weld some kind of flange on there. This one looks really good this way. And I think that'll improve the curve a bit. I think it's still high right there. Anyway, I'll figure out how to make this other flange while this stuff dries. Well, I got my little short bracket all welded up and ground in. And that should be on the back part, right around in there. But looks good. It's flush with the fender. And I got a big enough bolt hole there to put something in. I ground up this Bondo in here, DA'd it, and made this edge look a little better. I can do more of it once it's on, but the edge is pretty flat all the way. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with that front part, but since the welder was here and fired up, I had that one piece. I put it in. I wish it would have been longer, but I can only do a few inches of a curve at a time without warping that fender. So that's good for that one. Well, that all looks pretty good. real close here. My bolt holes are still lining up. Looks like I got a little bit of room in here. This bracket here probably needs to be bent a little. Of course, I don't know what will happen when this all gets bolted down. I got some bundle right there that's probably stopping it. But this back piece looks really good. Got a little bit of bend in it, but not much. And that little bit of bundle put in there, that'll help straighten that out. So I'm pretty close. I think this flange right in this area is sticking down and hitting the fender, and that's raise that up maybe 1/8 of an inch. I'm not sure, but if I bend that little bracket, that'll fix that. So this is all real nice here in the back now. And I'm pretty sure that I'll be good in here. Like the bottom will hold itself. I don't know how much this is gonna have to move in. Or whether I have to bundle up that bed just a little bit. Anyway, this fender's pretty much straight. Looks like I could straighten that bend up a little. That would make it come out. Don't know. Still got good fingers room in here, so wheels will be all right. It just takes a lot of work and it's slow. I'll press on. I still haven't figured out what I use for flange in that front part. Well, since that other fender's pretty much mocked up, I decided to move on this one. I made a template from the other fender and cut this out. And this, of course, is all busted up and rusted out. It looks like it had a lip in it here. So I'm going to try to cut this inside piece out of here. It's really not holding anything. And weld my little stainless patch in there. Don't know exactly whether I'll put it on the inside or the outside. Probably here on the outside. But anyway, I gotta cut this stuff out of here and get it ready for the patch. It turned out the best place for this was on the inside. I've got it pretty much good all the way around inside here. It's pretty much holding the shape. I got a little bit out here that needs to be tweaked. I think I can tack this in here in a few places, and that'll be enough to hold it. And some of this I can kind of hammer down. Maybe I'll tack it in a couple of these places and then move my clamps around and hammer on it. I think I'll put some tacks back in here in this corner here, because this is pretty good right here. I just flattened that. And my edge is right here at the edge of it. And I can put a few on the inside just to hold it. And just start using my clamps and moving this a little bit at a time and trying to get this. The shape is real good right now, it feels like. So I guess there's no way around it except to try to do it. Press on. Well, that's done. I clamped it in and tack it a little, hammer it a little, move. I've got it real close to the inside the edge. Got a little hot there, but basically I got a real nice shape to it. It's all welded solid. I haven't welded it on the inside yet. And I got a little bit more to do right over here. And I'm pretty sure this fits a curve, and that was right flush against the bed. So I think this fender's got to be cut right here. We'll see, but it looks pretty good. I haven't really flipped it over or anything, but this bottom piece is the shape I want. And of course I gotta cut some of the stuff off of here, trim it, weld it a little better, weld it on the inside. And but that's pretty good. I was thinking, I wonder if these two fenders would just go together. I bet they would. I would put the two fenders together. And anyway, I don't know about that, but this piece is done. And good enough for what we want. I did play with this fender a little, putting some welting in it, and looks like it's going to go in good. I'm going to have to cut one little piece there and I may glue that right onto the bed. I'm not sure yet, but the welt's gonna fit good, fender's gonna fit good. And we got our basic shape for the fender. Good enough for now. Well, moving along on this fender, I know that it's going to mount down in here somewhere. I hadn't completely welded this. I tacked it together and ground it off a little. Looks like right in here it kind of broke loose. So I'm going to re-weld this and grind it again. Got a few little high spots in it. But I found me a reasonable cover, not like this one, but it's 12 inches wide. And we'll cover this all up. So I'm going to try to make this as flat as I can across here. I got a little more dents right in here I got to fix. As you can see, it's flexing the whole thing. I've really only got it mounted to this fender here. A little place right here. I need to actually cut that off, put a bolt in it. This is the only place that I had welded, and that was because the guy was going to buy it, just said weld it on. So I did. I would have took more time and bolted it, but he didn't buy it, so now I'm into bolting it and fixing up this corner here and getting it all pretty straight. The first thing is weld this up and see what it would look like. Now I found a piece of angle iron here. It's pretty straight, and I clamped it on here, and I can crawl under here and hit it from the back, and I can straighten that bend out. Looks pretty bad, but use what you have, and this should just about fix all of this. Before I get to welding it, gotta knock the rest of that rubber off of there. It looks a lot better already. I beat it mostly flat. This should probably finish it up. I got this pretty much re-welded, leveled out. It's pretty straight. But I've got a little bit of oil can in it right here. Part of it is just this bracket here is not bolted down with big washers. But I got to looking at it, and these braces right here, when I went to put this fender on, I don't know if I'm showing you anything here, but they were way too low, and I had to put a bracket on there to kind of come up and hit them to make this level. And I need to take them off and re-weld them. There's one here and there's one right there. Both of them are basically at the wrong angle. Like a dummy, I put a a muffler bracket right there, so I'm going to have to cut it off. Get it out of there. I don't know if I got you upside down or what here. Anyway, to do this right, because I'm going to try to get some money out of it, I need to redo those 2 cross braces. I'm pretty sure I just got a couple bolts in this fender. Nothing's welded together here. And I can cut that bracket. First I'll bore it. And make a hole in it to put a bolt, so when I cut it loose it'll go back in the same spot. I can probably get along with what I got here for a bracket. It's actually kind of bent down a little there. So this really kind of needs to be straightened. And the only way I can do that really is to turn it around and put it on something flat and beat it out. I think the end of this fender is going to come right about to this welded spot. But I just have to do something. I don't know what this stuff is here. This rubber, man, it's really good. This has been on there 100 years. And I got to chisel it off and everything else. It's on there really good. But you can see that fender's kind of moving around. I need to make something here for an end piece to brace this up. So probably do the same thing like I did the bottom of this fender. Just make it a little 90-degree bracket and weld on the end of that. That'll give this a lot more strength. But I need to take it off and fix these things. I really wasn't planning on that. But like I said, the guy that was going to buy it said it's a rat rod, just patch it up. So I did. Now I got to cut it apart and unpatch it up. It's the way it goes. Anyway, I'll get this whole board here, and I'll take my see if I can get my fender off, see what I got underneath here. Well, there it is off. You can see these angle irons I put on here. Tried to bolt it in. That one there I broke a bit in. Gave up on it. But now I can finish up the rest of this fender. I can weld this corner a little bit better. Beat some of this stuff out a little flatter. I can get the bends out of that part. And of course this needs to be rust converted. So you do a little more work on this running board and figure out how am I going to mount it. I know it was level, so I'll measure from this to the ground and from right here where it was touching down to the ground. These are welded into the frame, so even though this one here don't look like it's very solid, so whether I keep this or whether I take it out. Need to rust coat that a little better. And of course all of this. Anyway, I never did like the way I did this, but when I went to put the fender on, these were, you know, 1.5 inches too low or something. So I just put them up in there to make it where it gets solid and you can stand on it. For that part, it worked good, but it looked terrible when you looked under it. And since I want to get a little more money out of this truck, I'm going to make these look a lot better than what they did. I'm not sure where I got this welded. I tried not to weld them super good. This muffler bracket, so I may be able to cut that off without a lot of trouble. I got 3 or 4 more of them anyway, so anyway, and this fender, I need to do something with that. You know, it's kind of bending around. Need to put a brace or something from that bed side into the frame. Make a spacer in there. Got to do something with that, because before all of this was just being held with the fender. I need to do something. Anyway, I'll have lunch and look at it more. I measured the other side, 6 3/4 plus whatever's on the tape. And so what I did, I just notched this and pulled it up and tacked it. That's now 6 3/4. You can see how far it is. You know, there's even with my bracket, I'm 2 inches low here. And I measured here, and I've got like a 1/2 inch clearance here between the bed and where the bottom of the fender is going to set. So I'm pretty sure that the fender will go in it. I don't know what's going to happen to any of my bolt holes or anything. We'll find out. Well, that channel that brace is right in the middle of, apparently that's where they welded this one. The other ones don't match, but I got it right now sitting in that channel, and it's right against that rusted square, so it's solid. It's not bending or flexing. I just got one bolt stuck in it. My hole's real close over here. I've just got this front fender clamped, but looks like that's a good place for it. So I bent that bracket just a little bit so to fit, so I can go ahead and weld that up, at least what I can get to here, and that'll hold it in place. And then I'll pull it off and we'll cut this one to fit it in exactly the same way, and I can put bolts horizontally in there. We'll clamp what's left of that bed brace onto here real good. I won't have to try to drill anything here from the top, and it's setting almost exactly where it was. I just got rid of that big ugly bracket in there over both of them, and I can go ahead and like I say, finalize this one. I'll pull it off again and cut that other one out, move it around, get it finalized, and I'll try to get the rest of this rubber off of here, get this side all straight, and put some rust coat on it. That's probably what I'll do now, is weld this up, pull it off again, and I'll rust coat it, just let it set overnight, and that'll kind of fix this one. Tomorrow I'll finish up whatever mounting I need to do. I put some rust coat on my fenders. This one still had a little bit of undercoat on it. I got a couple cans of undercoat for them. I'm kind of running out of steam here, but I rust stopped this one. This stuff's pretty good. That's what the whole truck is painted with. It'll stop the rust, make it look pretty good. You can see there where I cut that mount out. I'll do the same for this one. Now it goes down over the top of that. I welded this up good where I split it. I'm gonna split this one. Have to make sure that they're gonna fit each other. Cut that big old angle off of there. Anyway, I'll put these in there. I did the other side first, and when I got the fender mocked up, these were to the side of it, to the side of that mount, and I thought that's the way he designed it. And I came over to these, they were way too low. That's why I put that big old angle on there. I didn't have any time to fix it right, and turned out that they were he probably measured both of them to fit inside that bracket, or fit right on that bracket. I'm not sure how he planned on mounting them, but I'm going to put them inside and just put a bolt right through it. Probably a little steel plate on each side or something. Drill right through them. I think one bolt in each one of these. It's bolted again there at the corner of the bed. Bolted there. I think that'll be solid enough. Saw a little bit more here on the front of the fender. I think I'm going to weld that up a little better before I put this back on. But anyway, I feel pretty good about mounting these running boards. I didn't like them at all before. They were solid, but that's about all they were. But now at least when you crawl under it and look, it'll all look good. So that's kind of important. Like and subscribe. I don't know if I got enough on this one for a video. I probably do. Bye bye.